Something frequently asked among people that consume a lot of film and television is, what's your favorite movie? For some, that question is easy for sentimental connections or some other reason. Some it may be harder for. A less asked, but I would argue just as interesting question is, what's your favorite scene? This question is a lot harder to answer. I mean, obviously, by necessity, there are more scenes than movies, so the matter of volume is apparent. When someone brings up the topic of memorable scenes, what do you think of? Is it a really tense conversation between two characters? Maybe a bombastic opening scene with a lot of action or a big compelling hook? Could it be a crazy climax or duel where a hero must test everything they've learned up to this point? Or is it a wild plot twist that leaves your head spinning while you reel from the new information you just got? Well, for one of my favorite scenes of all time, it isn't really any of those. It's a scene from Jurassic Park. A scene of two kids stuck in a kitchen with dinosaurs. If I had to explain in 2 words why this scene is so great, it would be simplicity and tension. The parameters of the scene are clearly defined. The kids are in a kitchen, the raptors come into the kitchen, the kids must find a way out. But it's honestly a lot more than that, and that's because it's been set up by the film prior. For the entire runtime, we've been shown how threatening the raptors are, through their intelligence and ability to hunt, as well as their ability to kill many of the far more capable characters in the film so far. From even the first scene of the film, the character of Dr. Grant explains to another kid how easy it would be for a raptor to dispatch him. It serves as both foreshadowing and a great, slow, methodical setup. This is also the first time in the film where the kids have had to deal with a problem where there is no adult able to come to their rescue. Every other time the kids have had to overcome some threat of danger, there's been another adult coaching or helping them through it, like the T-Rex in the car or the electric fence. There's always been some fallback or stronger character to take the lead and help them through it. This precedent makes an already established threat of the raptors even more engaging because it's uncharted, but not unfamiliar territory. So we now have this immense threat established for over an hour now. What do we do with it? Well, naturally, we lock it in a room, alone, with the 2 physically weakest members of our main cast. This setup is a great way to lead into what is the most intense scene of the film. It's daunting, it's interesting, it engages you, and most importantly, it's very easy to understand. And because of all these elements, not only is it scary and suspenseful, but it also plays out in a satisfying way. Being trapped in an enclosed space with a larger predator is a fear that quite literally every single human being on Earth can relate to. It is built into our DNA to avoid and get out of those situations. Now, we up the ante on that principle by making it a prehistoric killing machine and making the people in question children. We, however, have seen in this film up to this point that these children are not helpless. The strongest weapons they have against this threat are their intelligence and their adaptability, which has been growing steadily up to this point. These kids throughout their trials in the film have become more and more capable, and this trial in the course of the story comes at a point where this still feels like a Herculean task to even survive, but also that it doesn't kill our sense of believability when they do. Through some masterful shots and editing, we see these beasts get closer and closer to our protagonist, and how they have to hold their breath just to keep their head, and in turn it makes us do the same. We watch with bated breath as these kids, with their own ingenuity and bravery, are able to trick and escape from 2 of the most dangerous animals to ever walk the earth. And it somehow doesn't feel cheap. It feels earned. This has always been Spielberg's specialty. Fantastical scenarios with grounded, real emotion. Something you can take away from his writing and the way he builds his scenes is this. A simple premise does not make it bad or lazy. It makes it universal. And when you are trying to build fear and suspense, universal is good. Spielberg was able to make a comically simple setup and what should have felt like a silly outcome, and turn it into one of the most suspenseful, perfectly structured, and masterfully scary scenes that puts most horror movies to shame, and that's why it's one of my favorite scenes of all time. Thank you for watching.